The way that people sell life insurance products like final expense insurance is constantly changing. Lead generation, the carrier products, the application process, and I would have to say more than anything, face-to-face sales versus remote telesales. With that being said, if you're new at life insurance sales and end up connecting with the wrong insurance agency who's actually pushing like these same old outdated methods, the same ones they've been doing for years, your chances of success may be completely out of reach right from the start, like from day one. Understand, based on my 15 years of life insurance sales experience, I truly believe that most insurance agencies don't even expect 10% of their agents to succeed. It's pretty messed up, but it's true. That's totally normal in the industry. First off, if you'd like a copy of both the appointment setting super file that's got different scripts for setting life insurance appointments, along with our door knocking super file, more scripts for door knocking, different types of leads, just stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to show you how to get both of these dudes for yourself. Today, I'm going to share with you what works and what doesn't work here in 2024. And I'm going to be pointing out some things, well, that you probably need to be aware of. I mean, the bottom line is, in my opinion, I call them red flags. You probably need to pause, and hopefully this information is going to save you from making a potentially career-ending mistake. And yes, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like all the time. And guys, if you've got a comment, if you've ever worked with an agency where you're like, hey, you got to avoid these guys for this, let me know. Make a comment. It's okay. Or if you've worked with an agency, I'm going to even put this out there, that you really, really love, make another comment. Let us know. What about them? Who are they? And why? For a lot of life insurance agencies that actually specialize in face-to-face sales, direct mail leads are usually the main lead for insurance sales with those agencies. Guys, sadly, and let me just be clear, not always, but in most cases, this actually doesn't make sense. Understand, the returns on direct mail has dwindled over the years, and so has the quality/verbiage. 10 years ago, I used to spend right around $26 for an exclusive direct mail lead that was very clear to the clients who filled these things out that this was 100% about buying life insurance. Nowadays, for 40 bucks or more, the typical direct mail lead card that the prospects fill out, well, the verbiage is so that they actually believe that when they fill this card out, that they're trying to qualify for some potentially free government fund or benefit for when they die. The verbiage quality of direct mail in most cases is just not any good. It's just terrible nowadays. And with the cost being like through the roof, I want to say in most cases, you'll fail if you try to use a lead card like this to sell life insurance, and aren't already, let me just put this out there, and aren't already a pro. The value and return on investment, it's just not there the way it was back when I was selling final expense on a face-to-face, belly-to-belly basis. Don't worry, hang around, and yes, I will share some solutions with you shortly. Just try to be patient, bear with me. There's another issue that I addressed in a video that I produced back in December. A lot of leads that were used back in 2023, types of leads, will no longer be compliant by the end of 2024. Once a lead is generated and sold or used by a specific agent, it is not compliant to share or resell this lead to another agent. So a lot of these MLM, these big three-letter multi-level marketing insurance groups or agencies, basically they depend on these type of leads. They depend on reselling their leads or distributing the same lead to multiple agents just to survive. If you're working a lead program where the leads are shared or reused by a second agent, you are working non-compliant, illegal leads and are 100% at risk of being fined, potentially thousands and thousands of dollars, and or it could even, if you get caught enough times, you're putting your insurance license at risk. And if you're working a lead that was generated by a telemarketer, guess what? Same deal. You'll also be working an illegal lead and putting yourself at risk, most likely. So what's the solution, Doug? You brought up the issue. Everything's changing with the leads. Well, what do I do? Well, if you're selling face-to-face, you're going to need to get used to buying and working internet or Facebook leads and or potentially generating them on your own. Really, that's the way to go if you can do it. I mean, yeah, you're going to be door knocking your leads probably more than ever, which you should be used to. It's part of the deal. But at the end of the day, if you're paying more than, I want to say, 20 bucks per exclusive internet or Facebook lead, you may once again be in that same boat that you'd be in like working the direct mailers. The return on investment is just not going to be there. Definitely not for telesales, that's for sure. Allow Moy to share my opinion of face-to-face life insurance sales versus selling final expense insurance remotely over the phone. In 2024, again, my opinion, if you're not selling life insurance products over the phone, you are 100% using outdated methods to sell. Period. In other words, if you're selling life insurance face-to-face, the production potential, it's not really anything like what it used to be. And it's just not even going to be close to the production potential that you'll have as a teleagent selling remotely. Due to our intensive vetting process, my agency has a very small number of life insurance agents doing telesales. Currently, I'm proud to say it's less than 20 agents. And once again, due to this vetting process, our success rate is through the roof when you do an apple-to-apple comparison with the typical insurance agency. Totally, you compare us to those MLMs, which inadvertently comes down to the way that we generate our inbound call-in leads and high-intent preset calendar appointments. For telesales, what I believe works best is 1, having lots and lots of decent quality leads generated either through TV commercials or the internet, where the client actually sets an appointment to speak with an agent after they fill out the lead form and they've seen a photograph of that specific agent along with their contact information. What works for some, but I want to say not nearly as well, is working like a lot, hundreds of internet or Facebook form leads per week. Like, you got to have a lot of them for that to work, and a lot of times it still doesn't. But the thing is, the pickup answer rate is extremely low on your typical internet or Facebook lead. That's why you got to have so many. Live transfers, where the telemarketer cold calls someone and asks them if it's okay to transfer them to a live agent, are illegal. That's right, as of 2024. You can't do this. They're no longer compliant if the marketer is calling from a list of names. So the idea, remember, once you get a lead, it can't be called by multiple agents. So once the telemarketer buys a list of names, that name can only be called by one person. You think that's what they're doing? No. They're reselling and retrading the leads. That's why it's not compliant. Cold calling people from a purchase data list is also going to be non-compliant and illegal because, once again, due to these new regulations in 2024, I really feel like once that list of names, otherwise known as that lead list, is generated, it may not be sold to more than one agent. So to me, the lead vendors, the list vendors, not the lead vendors, the list vendors are no longer going to be compliant. So what are they going to do? What about them fresh/subsidized lead programs or companies? Do they work in 2024? Here's the way I see it. If you're working 100% exclusive leads and not paying for them, even if your first year commission level is only like 50% and you are a hard worker and a talented salesperson, the potential for this working for you is actually pretty good. Now, let's talk about another potential elephant in the room: talent and skill set versus good old busting your butt, great work ethic. There was a time back in the day, years and years ago, before I was selling life insurance products, when you didn't have to be very good at sales. You didn't, to make a living selling insurance products. In 2024, things are a lot different. To be successful in this industry, you're going to need to learn everything from, there's a lot. Mastering the art of persuasion and influence, to having the skill set necessary to understand why people make objections so that you can effectively deal with them. And it depends on the objection too, the way to deal with it, through the sharing of value while building rapport. If your computer skills and knowledge are lacking, and or maybe you're just not very comfortable with doing all the multitasking, you're not likely to be successful at selling life insurance products remotely. Sorry, don't shoot the messenger. It's the fact, Jack. In 2024, if you intend on being successful at remote life insurance sales, you're going to need to be a highly effective communicator with strong communication skills. You need to be comfortable with the multitasking, like I said, and good with updated technology. Yeah, the technology is a big part of it. Not everybody can handle that. This is pretty much goes for face-to-face sales, at least to to a degree. It's no longer possible to fumble and bumble your way to success at sales like it was back in the day. People are just smarter. They're constantly seeing stuff on TV and hearing from like their friends and family and neighbors and people in the communities. Never give out your personal information, especially your social security number or banking information, to anybody, especially over the phone to someone that you don't know. Something else that needs to be addressed is commission levels. Very important. Back when I was a Hartford agent, now we're talking 15 years ago, you could get by with a 60% first-year commission level while paying for leads. If you're paying for leads and your first-year commission level for the main life insurance or final expense product is lower than, I want to say, 90 to 100%, it probably won't work nowadays. Things are completely different. Again, the lead quality is not the same as it was back 15 years ago, especially with direct mail, right? So the commission level has got to be higher than it was back then. A lot higher, actually. A huge red flag to look for is when you speak with an insurance agency that starts their agents with commission levels below that 100% level. So maybe they offer you, I don't know, an 80% contract to start with, and then they use the old carrot on the stick method to reel you in, to tell you, hey, don't worry, we're going to get you up to that 100% level once you've done this, done that, sold this certain amount of insurance. To me, again, my opinion, in 2024, this is a scam. These agencies are using outdated recruiting methods and are pretty much unethical and unnecessary, all based on greed by cheating unsuspecting insurance agents out of part of their commission. That just sucks. For a copy of the appointment setting super file and the door knocking file that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on our remote final expense calendar appointment setting super platform, just email me at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now do your thing and make sure whatever you do, whatever happens, do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.